Imagine you are walking to market, minding your own business, maybe thinking about artisanal cheese and kombucha, when a stranger stops you and says, "Are you going to Scarborough Fair?" You say yes because you are polite and because you have not yet learned how folk songs work. Then comes the favour. Find my former lover. Tell him I still think of him. Tell him he can win me back. It sounds tender, almost brave. Then come the conditions. A seamless shirt, a dry well, a thorn that never bloomed. And after every impossible task, the song sighs its little spell. Parsley, sage, rosemary and thyme. The tune smiles at you. The lyrics hand you a shovel and say, "Good luck." This is Scarborough Fair, a love song built from impossible tasks. Most people meet it as something delicate. Mist, harmony, two beautiful voices in a room where nobody has ever shouted about the bins. But under the prettiness is a very old argument. Someone says, "Remember me to my former love." Then they add, "Also, please tell them to perform several acts that break physics." So yes, it is a love song. The actual Scarborough Fair was real. Scarborough, on the Yorkshire coast, was granted a royal charter in 1253, allowing an annual fair, and the old fair survived until 1788. The song belongs to the family of the Elfin Knight, Child Ballad 2, Round 12. In older versions, a supernatural figure sets impossible tasks, and a woman answers with impossible tasks of her own. It is a riddle duel. Courtship by loophole. Medieval flirting. What you hear now is a version recorded by Ewan MacColl and Peggy Seeger. Frank Kidson printed a Scarborough version in 1891 with the refrain, "Savoury, sage, rosemary and thyme." Not parsley. Savoury. Even the herb cupboard had a folk process. At some point, parsley got the job, and savoury was told the band was going in a different direction. The modern Melodies Road is wonderfully crooked. Ewan MacColl collected a version in 1947 from Mark Anderson, a retired lead miner from Middleton in Teesdale. Martin Carthy later learned the song through that folk song world, made his own guitar arrangement, and recorded it in 1965. That arrangement became the railway junction. Dylan passed through. Paul Simon passed through. Everybody left with something in their pocket. Carthy's version does not float. It creeps. The guitar is quiet, but it has claws. You can hear why other songwriters leaned closer. Bob Dylan heard Carthy doing Scarborough Fair in London. Carthy later recalled that Dylan asked him to teach it, and then got the giggles while trying to play it. Dylan turned the old shape into Girl from the North Country in 1963. The traveller remains. The former love remains. But the impossible tasks become weather, memory, and distance. Then, in Boots of Spanish Leather, released on The Times They Are A-Changin' in 1964, he uses another piece of the old machinery. Separated lovers, questions, gifts. Paul Simon's route was more direct. While he lived in England, he learned Carthy's arrangement, then brought it into Simon and Garfunkel. In 1966, Scarborough Fair / Canticle opened Parsley, Sage, Rosemary and Thyme. Here the song becomes pop without becoming simple. The voices are angelic, but the counter-melody is not there for decoration. It is a second ghost in the room. Then came the movie The Graduate, and then the song was no longer just a folk club jewel. It became a sound of the late 1960s, beautiful, anxious, half in love, half hiding behind a pane of glass. And then it travels. Sarah Brightman turns it into moonlit classical crossover. This is Scarborough Fair after someone polished the silver and removed all the mud from the fairground. Nolwenn Leroy brings it through a Breton doorway. It feels less like England owning the song, and more like the Atlantic borrowing it for the weekend. For Estella, the Korean crossover group, here's the drama in it. Not K-pop exactly. More like four men discovering that medieval heartbreak has extremely high-tech production. A cappella strips the song back to breath, just voices making the old spell work by hand. LP reminds us that the song can take a modern voice with rough edges. It does not need to be porcelain. It can smoke a little. And yes, there is a hard dance version. Scarborough Fair survives all this because impossible tasks are still with us. Love sets them. Memory sets them. Pride sets them. Sometimes the task is, come back unchanged. Sometimes it is, forgive me without me saying sorry. Sometimes it is, be the person I remember, even though neither of us is. In our version, we just had to let parsley go and bring back the old band. Savory, sage, rosemary, and thyme, with noisier instruments. This is Scarborough Fair.